So, another episode of the Lewis Hamilton career mode on F1 24, and it brings us to Spain. Round number 9 of the season, and we are into the second half of the year. Now guys, the previous episode will be linked for the Canadian Grand Prix in the top right. We debuted the improved AI mod, and oh my days, what a change of dynamic. I'll leave it linked in the top right, spoilers ahead, so go watch before I do spoil it. But anyway, let's talk about that previous episode and a few updates. Now we have a new rival, surprise surprise, Max Verstappen. The winner has to have a 20-point margin over the other, so that's something we're going to try and work towards during this new rivalry. Now that's not the key takeaway from the previous episode. Now Red Bull, Verstappen dominated in Canada. The new mod took effect and Red Bull were just levels above everyone. Verstappen almost lapped us around Canada. That's how insane it was. Since then, a couple of days ago, the mod has now been updated and tweaked, and we're going to try it once again and see if things are a bit more balanced. I gave my feedback to the creator Kolar, and we're going to see, hopefully, things look a lot more logical and work a lot better than planned.
Okay mate, I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but I'm afraid to say that some of them have failed quality control. We're going to need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Now, we had a failure on the chassis, specifically the energy store cells, so we're going to go ahead and repurchase that one as we had some points saved up, and those will arrive before the next race at Silverstone, our home race, looking to hopefully put in a good shift in front of the home crowd. In the meantime, we're at Catalonia, Spanish Grand Prix, and as you can see on the timeline, we have more R&D points to accumulate and more upgrades on the way. And crucially, it's Mercedes this time who have to remove yet another upgrade. So they keep on pushing forward, but they keep on getting pushed back by the game, by the balancing out the field chip. Last weekend it was Aston Martin, you can see now we're 4th, and Ferrari have closed right back up over the last 2 weekends. And also HAAS bring a massive upgrade package, and they're now closer to Mercedes than they are to Williams. So HAAS firmly entering Formula A with this package. Now you can see the results on screen. Last race, a really hard fought P7, which was tough considering we just wasn't quick, and again the mod really did shake things up. Now it has been tweaked, the car, the handling, we've essentially now got a lot of changes in place which are going to hopefully make things feel a lot more natural. In the championship, Verstappen, of course, by winning that previous race, is now 6 points behind Lando 3rd, and that's kind of the championship protagonist, I'd say. Perez might find some points as Red Bull have gotten stronger. Also, that could be a threat for the constructors as our gap now might start to reduce after Red Bull got a very strong result last time out. But anyway, that aside, let's talk about a few other changes. Now, the mod does state it requires a session of qualifying to basically be spectated in full. You can't sim time, you can't skip to track, you can't return to garage. So doing a full qualifying is a very long session. So we're going to trial a short qualifying to hopefully get the mod to work as planned. And we can basically, without any issues, sit through a short quali and not waste too much time. But a full qualifying is over an hour, which we have to just sit there and watch the AI do laps. Anyway, we jump into practice, currently on our race runs, and this time you can see we're all green.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Now, if you remember, last episode we did not get one single lap in the green around Canada because, again, the mod was unbalanced. The car handling has been reset and now feels like F1 24 again, and generally things work a lot better, hence why we was able to hit all 5 of those practice target laps and achieve a successful race run. We had great tyre wear and really good fuel consumption. We finished in 16th, 1.5 off the top on mediums, so that seems like, I'd say, business as usual in terms of pace. So I do think a good job has been done here to rebalance everything and get things as they were before with the new AI.
Hello everyone, it is a track the drivers know oh so well. It is qualifying in Barcelona for the Spanish Grand Prix.
So then, into qualifying, short qualifying to be specific, Verstappen into the sub 1 minute 10. So these cars are getting bloody quick, of course, with the removal of the final chicane a couple of years ago now. We're talking nearly Austria lap times as we look to close out our first lap of the day. So Verstappen into the 109s. Let's see what we do, making our way through the final corner, opening the DRS, and across the line, it's a 1:11.0. So we are well over a second off Verstappen, and Perez has been clawed back. So it's only Max who's basically a cheat code. You can see that the field spread is a lot tighter than in Canada. Canada was just the Red Bulls were in a different galaxy, but I still feel like Max is a bit quick. Either way, Lando's 6th right now. I am going to reintroduce the use of overtake. The AI don't use it, but I feel like if I use overtake, we'll be able to qualify at a realistic pace and compete realistically with what you'd expect with the AI. So let's see if this trial works. Currently up by a little bit now, burning overtake through turn 3. We're going to be a 10th up in sector 1. On the brakes as we head through turn 4, try to open up the exit and get the power down as soon as possible. Then back down here to turn 5. Just keep it nice and tight, and then open up the throttle on exit as we now prepare the chicane at 7 and 8. Aggressive on both curbs as we try to avoid the sausage curb on the exit. Turn 9 completely flat with these cars as we again burn some more overtake over the top. Into turn 10, the hairpin on the anchors. Third gear, trying to keep the car in, don't touch the red paint, that's very slippy. And now tight through 11 and 12 as we look to close out the final 2 corners here and close out the lap. And the use of overtake has found us half a second as we run up to the line. Where do we go? P6, just ahead of Lando Norris. So that more or less adds up as now Lando actually goes back in front. So that's a lot more accurate because we're matching our teammates. So final attempt, all or nothing, let's send it.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
Well, there we go, P8 on the day. Not insane, but better than Canada. And I do think the AI is still pretty strong in qualifying. Definitely not as, off balance as Canada. And the reality is we are the 4th best team. So this does make a bit more sense. 6/10 off the pole, that's a lot more palatable. So I do think using overtake might be the way to go for the time being. Either way, it's a Red Bull front row lockout and we have to fight back in the race. So let's get into it and let's see how it turns out.
Circuit of Barcelona Catalunya has been on the calendar for over 30 years now, and it has served up some classics. Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari in 1996 in the rain. We have much better weather here today for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the long run down into turn 1. This is a 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging here, to put it mildly. There are 16 corners, but there's still a lot of drama and excitement to be found out there on track. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Zhou, Teo Porcher, Ricciardo, Albon, Behrman, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. It is going to be some race today. I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me is Naomi Schiff. Well, they're having a better time than their teammates so far this year. How do you keep that momentum going? Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Right then, here we go. Time for the race at Spain. P7 on the grid. Decent qualifying, first time using overtake in a long time, and I actually really like the challenge of working and pushing to the absolute limit to try and deliver a good lap. I think the short qualifying actually worked pretty well from that point of view, having to find more time each lap, and each lap meaning a lot, because if you get one wrong, then it can be quite costly. Anyway, that aside, I'll take a P7. Lando's P5, Verstappen though still looks quick, so we're going to have to work hard in this race to try and fight back. Now, I'm keen to test a new patch update for the mod to see if things are going to be a bit more competitive, hopefully a bit more realistic. When I did the race runs in practice, the car felt a lot better than in Canada, so hopefully, even though the car is now stable and consistent, I just hope it translates into better pace. Now, with that out the way, we're going to go for the alt strat. Now, originally it was a medium hard, bit of a weird one, but we're going to go for a simple one stop, medium to hard. This should be the optimal strategy in my opinion. Fuel, we're going to go for 1.5 laps extra, overcast all the way through, no rain scheduled. So we're going to get into it and try and fight back. Hopefully a good race is ahead. I think Max might still win, but I think second place could be on the cards. So let's get into it. Like, subscribe, and let's go racing. So, end of the formation lap. We've got decent tyre temp. We've also got a mixture of tyre compounds. A few going for softs and some going for mediums. I think this is going to be the better tyre, especially in a few laps time. So let's find out and see if I'm correct. Anyway, let's try and get a good start, which we've struggled with lately. Spanish Grand Prix. Lights on. Lights out and away we go. Not a good first phase of the start, but we do recover quite nicely in the second part. The AR though getting off pretty quickly. We're going to go and launch it around the outside of turn 1 here, which becomes the inside for turn 2. Tsunoda's still there, so we just have to leave some room. I can't quite commit to the corner. Important to try and keep Yuki behind on that soft tyre. Around the outside of turn 4, still there. Lando block in the middle of the track. Tsunoda goes to the outside and instead challenges our teammate and gets by. That was a good move from Yuki. Again, the new AI working hard on the race start to get aggressive and make overtakes. We've now got Hülkenberg for company in our mirrors. Going to use the battery here to try and have a look at Tsunoda. Just feel like maybe on that soft tyre he's got a bit more grip at this stage. Let's see if we can try and stay close through here. Maybe we can challenge into turn 1, depending on the battery levels. We're so good for the final corner. Here we go.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
We're getting dropped on the straight. We're going to go around the outside though and go super deep into turn 1 and get that position back. A super late braking move there. Supreme confidence on the anchors, and we go back through. Now though, we have to get back within a second of Lando to stay within DRS here. Important couple of corners ahead. Red Bull's already starting to break away out front. Let's just try and make sure we get DRS here. Nice and tidy through the chicane. There we go. Right, let's settle into this race then. Good pace, a couple of personal bests in a row. Tsunoda looking to try and fight back through here. We are lacking a bit of straight line speed again, but it's not as bad as Canada, and I can defend and fight this. I'm trying to recharge the batteries a little bit, but that has meant we've lost a bit of ground to Norris, so we're going to have to try and push.
Okay, some information on Piastri. They've got an issue with their car, they're going to be slow.
Or he's behind, so that's not really much of a concern. Concern now is to get back within a second again, which I think we'll just about manage. Oh, I think we just held on there. That was really close. No, we didn't get it. We'll have to use everything then to try and keep up here. That should bring us back into range.
Okay, Lewis, Lando ahead. We can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
I mean, I've got no plans to get past my teammate. He's quicker than me right now. Just looking at trying to get past those soft tyre runners. At the moment, Verstappen's running away. Not as much as the last race, definitely a lot more balanced. Perez is right there. He's not a million miles off, but the Mercs have, from time to time, gone side by side through turn 1, 2, which has just cost them a little bit of time. But Checo's not a million miles off, and he'll likely be in a lap after Max, so there's an opportunity for an undercut there if we can stay close to him. So second place is still very much on. If not, it's a battle for the podium. Also Tsunoda now just starting to drop a little bit. I think that we're hitting that crossover now on the tyre compounds, and we're starting to manage our race a bit more comfortably now. So I'm just trying to recharge by staying in medium ERS the whole time. The pace has just dropped a little bit in the last couple laps. For the last few in a row now, the Mercs have gone side by side and lost a bit of time through the first 2 corners, which hasn't been optimal. They're just holding a bit of a roadblock right now, and Leclerc also on soft tyres starting to die a little bit, so we're in a bit of a block in terms of progress. So Perez is opening a critical gap now before the pit phase. I'm also trying to recharge, but it's hard to make a pass now. Lando's having a look at Leclerc here, but he just can't get near. The Mercs again battle as Leclerc runs deep, and we go through. We get a gift, a crucial gift. Signs on mediums. I think Russell's on mediums as well. The Mercs just don't have the pace. I think we're quicker, so we just got to try and get through them somehow. I want to see if I can try maybe look for a move.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Pit window open.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Norris has got the run on George. I'm going to follow him through on the inside. George defensive, Norris back up the inside. This is allowing Sainz to get away. I mean, I meant to box now, but I might go one more if I feel like I can make some progress on track versus, you know, direct medium tyre competitors. I feel like I've got decent tyres still. Here we go. DRS over the hill. Russell, no DRS on Sainz. On the outside we go.
Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
Let's see what Sainz does here. Trying to stay within DRS. That's a critical factor, which we managed to achieve, and Sainz stays out, so we'll try and stick with Verstappen in. So we're potentially giving up the undercut on Perez, but I think this is a really quick strat to use the DRS and try to be quick on track.
Okay, Lewis, lap times are a little erratic at the moment. Let's try and close up the difference between them.
I actually want to try the overcut on Sainz, so I'd be happy to see him stay out. I'm leaning towards the overcut as the better option, I think. I've got to be careful on fuel. We are a bit low. I don't really want to pass Sainz here. I want to try and just save and recharge for a bit. Right then, Perez in. Norris, of course, stays out, so it means Norris will likely box on this lap. I'm going to try and get ahead here. I don't know if I'll box, I'm going to just run my pace. I just feel like I've got decent rhythm at this stage. We'll knock it into hot lap and try and put in a decent lap here and just take it from there. Right, Sainz, I think, will pit this lap, so will Norris, hopefully. Yes, perfect.
Lando's in the pits. Lando in the pits.
Right, let's see if this is the right strap. Verstappen flying. Interestingly, Leclerc 3rd, Perez 5th. So Checo's lost a lot. I wonder if he had a slow stop. Either way,
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
in we go for our hard tyres.
Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
Good pit entry. Just got to watch the fuel in this last part of the race, but we're doing okay. Oh, it's a slow stop. Oh my god, it's a really slow stop. It's a 5.1. That's criminal. That's just ruined all of our hard work. We're going to be behind Norris here.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
I think Norris also had a slow stop because he's behind Pierre Gasly. We're ahead of those two, but oh my days, we are a long way back. So I think a couple of slow stops for us, for the team. Definitely not ideal. Definitely not part of the plan. Pierre having a look, but we'll just outbrake him. Let's see if we can try and get within DRS. Don't have any battery to really fight this, but we'll give it a push and try it. We'll let Pierre go, and probably Norris as well. I don't have any battery, so I just can't do anything. I'll let Norris... No, never mind, I was going to let him take the racing line, but we'll slot him behind. So P12, this has gone really wrong. It's amazing how 2.5 seconds, you know, up the road, we would be with Perez. It's crazy how the race has turned out. Luckily, Hulkenberg's in the mix up ahead, so he could cause trouble. Ocon out. There won't be any safety car. We don't seem to get any of those. Tempted to put the safety car in increase to see if we get any more, but I think it's just a bug. Norris having a look at Pierre Gasly here. I think he might have that, you know. We're going to go through and follow on the inside.
Okay, Lewis, we need to save some ERS, so let's use all the techniques you know about to charge it up.
Good pass there just before the yellow flag zone. Let's see what pace Norris has. I feel like he's got good rhythm. His batteries management's terrible. He's always flashing on the pit straight, but I feel like he's got good pace. So let's see if he can pull us to the cars ahead. Big train in front.
Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate.
Right, we're catching up a little bit now. Hulkenberg P4 right now and causing some chaos. Also Tsunoda's in there as well, I've just realised. So both HAAS cars looking very sharp around here with the upgrades. Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez. Leclerc might battle for P2 on the road. P4 could still happen, but we do need to start catching before the fast cars get past Hulkenberg and Tsunoda. Right, now we're getting close. Just waiting to time this, but it might be time for the pass and the move on Norris here to try and close in. Here we go. DRS and hot lap, they're battling in front of us. We set a personal best. Let's get through here, get the clear track. There's Hulkenberg in front, so it's actually Tsunoda, I believe, who's cooking away in the other HAAS. But now let's try and get within the DRS of Hulkenberg. And then Stroll, those mediums starting to pass away now. Yellow.
Green flag.
It's Norris, he's gone. Norris is gone. We've just used him there for some DRS assistance. But it's on us now. That's huge for the championship. That might just ruin Lando's hopes of the title. There it is. There won't be a safety car, as we know, or a VSC. And we've got DRS and Hulkenberg, which is massive. Let's see if we can try and drop Pierre maybe out of this. Gasly gone. Hulkenberg. Stroll looks slow on those mediums. We've got the freshest hards of the entire field. Here we go. Missed out on the fastest lap there by 0.2. Wasn't really my intention. We're getting the run on Stroll here as well. Up the inside we go. It's a big lunge and we get it. Great aggression. And we're through. Tsunoda. Next car up the road. Let's try and chase. and pass here. This is a crucial phase of the race now. We're making good progress.
Caution, caution.
There is Lando, stricken. I need DRS on Yuki here for the pit straight, ideally. Let's see if we can try and get it here though. Big send for the chicane. Oh, we're just going to miss out on DRS on Tsunoda there. That's a real shame. But we will have it for the pit straight. Russell has no DRS, which is also huge. We've got a chance here to get these two. Up ahead, Perez, Leclerc battling for second place. If they battle hard enough, they might fall back a little bit. Stick with me, folks. Stick with the action. This won't be over until the very last lap. Right, let's get Tsunoda. And then we'll leapfrog onto George. Yuki with DRS. Now flashing D rating. Up the inside. Good move. We'll get George the next time around. Let's just try and manage the fuel and also keep the charge up. That's the important thing right now.
Okay, Lewis, your lap times are all over the place right now. We've got to have consistency. Come on, we can do better than this.
Are you even watching the race, bruv? Right then, a lap later than I planned. But we're here. Fuel is going to go down to the wire, especially once we get ahead of George. But we've got battery, which is all that matters. We're going to try and get the leapfrog onto Alonso and Sainz. Here we go. We're going to use everything. The Merc pretty speedy on the straight. Through we go on the outside. Now let's try and get within Alonso's DRS. Well, those mediums must be starting to fade now. P4 on the cards today. Oh my god, we just crept in for a millisecond and then lost DRS there. If I'd had that, we might have had a chance at the fastest lap. Might still have a chance of getting it though, if I can nail this last sector. We'll have it for the pit straight so we can basically recharge before the final attack in the last couple of laps. We can also manage fuel. Let's see, a 0.4 is the fastest lap of the race. We'll use everything up to the line. Yes, huge. Hopefully we can bring that point home and get P4. That would be a decent recovery. Track limits, not a big issue. I've been taking it super aggressive. The cut is working well. That's the first time I've been punished. A bit too much of a shortcut this time. Also, Perez and Leclerc, for the first time, visible into their hairpin there. So they're battling and losing time, but I just don't think there's enough time for anything to happen as we head on to the last lap of the race. I've got 50% charge, not a lot. We've got the fuel. So this is it now. Can we have a challenge? We're about to find out.
Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate.
Don't have a lot of straight line speed here. Just lacking. Up the inside of Alonso though. It's a huge dive bomb. Can we try and get Sainz? Maybe down to the hairpin. I need the battery to just hold up a little bit. Let's see. This is going to be a tense last lap. Oh, mistake. Running in a bit deep. Come on, come on. Verstappen wins again. Sector 3 is where we're strongest. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to pass anywhere. Maybe out the final corner if I get the momentum right. Here we go. Oh, we're going to run out of space.
Difficult strategy today.
Heading to the top step once again. Max Verstappen takes the win.
Wow, that's 3 wins in a row. This clearly solidifies them as a seasoned contender. It's very tough to achieve 3 in a row, so very well done.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
There we go then, the Spanish Grand Prix is finished. Max Verstappen still wins with a comfortable margin, but Perez is no longer comfortable and he is beatable. It's a 1-2 for Red Bull, Leclerc on the podium. I think that pit stop really hurt our race, man. I really did. I have to analyse the race afterwards, but I feel like if you watch where I rejoined, compared to a regular stop, you know, I'd say a 2.5 or 2.4, we had a 5.1. That's one of the longer, slower pit stops that you can have. So those 2.6 seconds would have meant we rejoined around P5, P6, and we could have had a much better stint. I think second place was very much possible today, like I mentioned in the intro, but I'm liking this mod. Today, it was a lot better. I'm sweating a lot, and I'm really pushing hard. Admittedly, Verstappen seems a bit out of reach, but that can all be adjusted. Either way, purple extra lap point for us, fast lap point for us, should I say. So we'll take that. Good day at the office. The big issue is, of course, Lando DNFing. But in the standings, Verstappen retakes the lead. 8 points clear. Lando now 56 adrift. So that's your top 3 in the championship. Perez now, of course, scoring points regularly in the podium and clawing his way back to the top. In the constructors, also Red Bull getting closer because of that 1-2 finish and then being stronger again now with this mod. It's tightening things up. So we'll see. Second half of the season underway. This was round 9. Round 10 next up, our home race. We'll see what happens, guys. Like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed it. I think the mod is really adding a bit more intense racing now, and I'm flat out with this one, by the way, so it's going to be fun. On screen now, you're going to have the post-race fallout, of course, with our driver stats, which aren't really relevant anymore, but our recognition versus Lando, of course, our specialists as well, and our head-to-head rivalry with Max Verstappen. So, yeah, guys, cheers for watching. As always, a big shout out to the members. Check out the 2 videos on screen, also the links down below to mods, discounts, and affiliate codes. And I'll see you guys in Silverstone. Ciao.